One evening, as I was walking home alone, I saw a small, innocent-looking creature by the side of the road. Its big and pleading eyes looked up at me, as if begging to be saved. I hesitated for a moment. I knew that if I took it home, I would start caring for it too much, spending more and more time with it, until it took over my life, distracting me from my family, my work, and even my health. But I told myself I was smart enough to manage everything. Giving in to my desire, I picked up the little creature and held it in my arms. As soon as I did, a wave of joy filled me. The creature licked my face, showing its affection. I smiled, thinking I had found a new companion. But as I continued walking home, I saw an old beggar sitting by the roadside. His clothes were torn, and he looked like he had been in a terrible fight. His eyes widened in fierce anger when he saw me holding the little creature. He shouted at me and asked me to leave it, and kept on calling me a big fool. And he went on, yelling that it was no innocent beast, that it was the cub of a great and terrible lion, and one day it would grow up and devour me alive. I laughed at him. What did a lonely, miserable beggar know about this creature? Maybe he was just bitter and did not want me to have something that made me happy. When I got home, I showed my wife the little creature, expecting her to be happy for me. Instead, her face was filled with fear. She firmly said that I had to get rid of it immediately, and went on about how bringing such a dangerous thing into our home was reckless. She warned that soon it would consume all my time and destroy my life, saying that she had seen it happen before. Our neighbor's husband had brought home the same creature. It grew into a monstrous lion, and one day it devoured him. Now she lives alone. I saw the fear in her eyes, but I did not listen. Instead, I hid the creature in the basement, a place my wife rarely visited. Every day, I spent more time with it, feeding it, caring for it, and growing more attached to it. Months passed, and the creature grew. It was no longer small and innocent. It was bigger, stronger, and impossible to hide. It started growling and making noises. Then one fateful night, my wife confronted me. She asked me what I had done with the creature she had told me to get rid of. Her voice was calm, but her eyes were filled with sadness. I felt as if she could see right through me, leaving me with no choice but to tell her the truth. She didn't argue. She simply packed her things and left. Before walking out the door, she said she would not stay and watch me be destroyed like so many others, and that she refused to suffer the same fate as them. And then, she was gone. Now the beast was fully grown. It was huge, terrifying, and violent. It no longer waited for my attention. It followed me everywhere. It bit me, clawed at me, left deep wounds on my body. I hated it. I wanted to get rid of it, but at the same time, I loved it. I could not imagine life without it, even though I knew it was going to kill me. Desperate, I searched the internet for answers. How could I tame this thing? How could I make it stop? But all I found were warnings from people just like that old beggar. And then, like a sledgehammer to my chest, the truth hit me. I had made a terrible mistake, because now I finally knew the name of the beast. It was lust. Days passed, and the beast only grew stronger. Every time it came near me, I felt the same struggle, loving it as much as I hated it. Every time it left new scars. I had given up, accepting that this thing, which once seemed small and harmless, would eventually kill me. The beggar had been right. My wife had been right. The people on the internet had been right. This beast was never meant to be tamed or controlled, but in my arrogance I thought I knew better. Then one day there was a knock at the door. It thrashed, almost mad with fear, as if the very presence of whoever was outside was unbearable. Then suddenly it ran, rushing down to the basement, hiding in terror. I opened the door. Standing there was the same old beggar. His sharp eyes met mine, and I felt something I had not felt in a long time. Shame. I could not even look at him. I asked him what he wanted, barely able to find my voice. He did not answer my question. Instead, he said that my wife had come to him, crying, and since then, he had been looking for me. Then he asked where the beast was. I told him that the beast had smelled him and ran to hide in the basement. Without hesitation, the beggar stepped inside and walked straight down. I did not dare to follow him. Then I heard it, the beast's screams. It screeched and wailed. as if it was in horrible pain. I stood frozen, unable to move. Then, after some time, the beggar returned. Over his shoulder, he carried the beast's lifeless body. In that moment, I knew this was no ordinary beggar. His torn clothes were not from poverty, but from battle. He had been fighting beasts like this one for a long time, not for himself, but for others. Trembling, I asked him who he was. He looked at me and simply said, "I am who I am." Then, right before my eyes, his ragged clothes transformed into shining white robes. I fell to my knees, overcome by something greater than myself. My body was no longer my own. Tears streamed down my face, and I could not stop them. He had saved me.